because she will drag you to hell, because women are the devil. Women are going to allow you to eat from the forbidden fruits of knowledge.
Women are the devil, but the man isn't, and especially not Natureboy. You see how brainwashed that they are? How just the grand delusion is at an all-time high over there. So you guys better off was sitting in the house or the woods, wherever y'all been. Y'all could have stayed there saying this mess here. Okay, especially giving props to that cuckoo bird that they got locked up because he's a liability to himself and everybody in the community wherever he goes. Them courts are trying to sit him down because that man is a menace to society. And all he's going to do is have baby kids and have little menace to societies that are going to grow up to be adults and end up emulating what he does. We don't need that in our world. The world's messed up enough. He's just adding on to the mess.
Knowledge. And she will take you to the places of which you do not understand within your own self, because you did not heal your own mind. That's why you apply the knowledge that God, Elijah the Christ, has given you. Because once you apply that to your life, you start to see the strength and the power in your mind, in your understanding of what you're here to do. You're not here to be like everyone else, black man and black woman. You are here to be who you truly are, the ancient beings within your DNA that we are here to awaken. You are here to understand that you are God, you are the Son in human form, and the messenger is here to wake up our people so that you see him having 4 wives is going to be normalized, and it's going to be something that you are going to learn from the king himself.
Oh, the king himself. Okay. You did that. You
polygamy
did that.
Is very important, especially for the black family. When you talk about polygamy, you have to touch on resources, because resources is built off of many people who come together with a certain mission and a certain goal in mind. If you look at the black family today, it is broken up. There is a very large population of single black women households, single mothers, and they're raising these families on their own. And so they're leading in poverty. They're leading our youth into the wrong ways. Because when you think of a family, you have to think of building a legacy and a dynasty. You don't have, you shouldn't go on. Oh my God,
this girl sounds crazy.
Society has told us what a relationship is. And that, if we go based off of those ways, you're going to see that it's very destructive. When you enter in polygamy, you are actually bringing in together resources. And
they don't know how much peace that they are in now that he's locked up. The courts have given them a break. The courts have given them a vacation. They are able now to think for themselves, and you would think that they would sit with themselves because they don't have to listen to the drama and the loudness in their head no more. And they would make a sound decision to go home to their family and loved ones and be mothers to their child. But no, they want to sit up here and say some regurgitated stuff that they said 100 times, and they may have put it in a different order, and they're spitting it out back at us like they said something new or like we heard something new.
Not just talking about resources as far as money. I'm talking about resources as far as what are you capable of doing? What are you able to do? What gifts do you bring? Exactly. How can we make this grow? And so when you talk about that, you have to come out of the ignorant ways in which we have been taught to think. We have been taught to think that a relationship should go one way. A relationship should be all about the woman and how and what she's getting, making her happy.
Low self-esteem.
But what about the man? We have left out the man, and we have forgotten his role in the family. Right. He's supposed to be the protector and the provider, and our husband, 3 guys, capable of holding many women at one time just because of the sheer capacity of his mental abilities. Every man is not able to do this. So when you think about...
Are they trying to recruit? Put a Y in the chat if it sounds, because this is what it's starting to sound like to me at the end. Sounds a little bit of recruity. I'm making up a word. Sounds a little recruitish. So, I mean, is it just me? But I don't know. It just sounds like the way I don't know, the way she sounds like it's like a recruiting. I don't know. And I did edit this video a little bit, but I didn't peep that.
Polygamy, you have to think about it scientifically. You have to come at this subject not in ignorance, but you have not in subjectivity, but you have to come at it with a scientific and a logical way of understanding this. We have lost our ways of critically using our minds, and so we go along with what society is doing with the distractions and the negative talking each other. But when you really sit down and think about what polygamy is, when you sit down and really get to the bottom of the generational curses that we have with each other, the hate that we have for each other.
You don't have no generational curses. Natureboy had the generational curses, and he put it in your brain that you got generational curses. Only generational curse you got was inserting Natureboy in your life, being part of his life, going over there to wherever he was at the moment and letting him destroy your life. And he gonna help destroy your kid's life if you don't get out and act now. Now that sounds like a commercial.
The violence that we see towards each other, you will see that polygamy is able to heal all of those curses that we have.
I believe so too, that they try, but it's just they can't do it. It's hard.
On its own
I believe that too.
And we continue to do it without the white man anymore. When you think about polygamy, you think about bringing that together and healing that. And so that is what polygamy is for. Polygamy is for the man to reproduce his seed, his mind, and you cannot do that with just any man.
Oh,
so
really?
women, your bodies are sacred. Your bodies are your temple. You should not go around giving that away to anyone just because.
This is so sad and pathetic. All of you guys have been passed around. Incarnation. Malia, you're the chiefess and you've been passed around a couple of times. Okay? I don't even know how you made it to be the first lady because you were passed around. Okay? You did a whole bunch of initiations, I would call it. And Natureboy ended up making you chiefess. But girl, you was passed around. Velvet was never passed around. That's one thing I will say about her. You was passed around. Aya, you was passed around. Zoca, you was passed around. And Efru, you know you was passed around. Passed around.
Because of the way that he looks or what he says to you. You have to be very objective when doing this. You have to think about how is this going to impact humanity? How is this going to benefit us as a whole? And so when you come together in a polygamous dynamic, there's many things that are being healed and worked on within the relationship. And you should think about it on that level, whether rather than being subjective and always seeing it from a negative point of view. We need to step back into who we are truly as gods and creators of this realm. Because we're not dumb, we are not stupid. We have only picked up those
just not bright
that we learned from our lower self. And now it is time to stand up and use our minds again. This subject is not taboo. This is something that is really going on. This is something that is going on in the East, and that is why you see that their families are doing way better than the West is, because the West does not accept
Lord, girl, bye.
But if you were white, they would, and it is illegal here.
Stop blaming the white man and step your game up.
It is about healing generational curses, making a legacy, and combining resources so that we can rise above what this society has done to us.
Absolutely.
Pushing 3.
Absolutely. That was beautiful.
Hey, RC.
Beautifully said. Wow. Thankful to my sister wives for following our husband's mind and still pushing divine knowledge itself, still teaching and educating our people and waking them up to truth, divinity, and true understanding of self. We will continue to teach. We will continue to.
Go ahead, Malia. Read off that cue card. I know it's a big one. It's probably on a big old card. just for you. Go ahead. You're right. Hooked on phonics, sis.
Speak the truth and or proclaim the truth, because this is our life. This is truth that we stand on. This is the truth that is needed in humanity. This is very taboo to the Western mind. Not a lot of people, they don't agree with what we're doing, because their mind is brainwashed to the system of the monogamy and the fairy tale weddings and the one man, one woman household. And that idea of relationship was brought to you by the white man in his mind. It was never the black man who decided to be monogamous. It was never the black man who decided to not spread his seed with multiple women. Because that's where we come from. Like my sister, Mama Zoca said,
you need to go home.
From those tribes of our king having multiple women, and we having a tribe of women, and bringing all of our resources together. Like my sister Ai said, bringing all of those resources together, bringing all our talents and our gifts and our abilities together to create a nation and to live sustainably in our village, live off the land and eat from the land. And be in tune with the land, be in tune with the sun, the rain, the air.
I really wish
the fire.
They would do that.
We beautifully lived in
go be mothers to your
our
children.
Own tribe, dancing around the fire, bonfire, dressed up in Indian wear and Indian clothing, and we all were one. We all came to be one, one mind, one self. It was always unity with the black man and black woman. That's why we are mother and father of the earth.
Zoca looking like she's gonna crack any minute. Because we know how to
live in tune. We know how to live indigenous to the land, and we've come to bring our mind back to the planet to awaken our people to truth and divinity.
Exactly. And in tune with the air and the land, but you're inside.
It will always flourish because it's unity. It's oneness.
Right. With the background of the, looks like the desert and cactuses, just a background print of nature, but you're not in nature. So you're not, I don't get you people. I really don't. You guys are like just crazy.
It's love. It's balance. It's harmony. It's understanding that you are everything in existence. It's cherishing yourself.
I is like, hurry up, Malia.
Do to yourself.
My hands are getting tired.
Do to your neighbor as you do thyself. Love yourself as you do your neighbor.
Ooh, child.
Honor yourself.
Crazy than a bed bug.
And honor your sister. And we all collectively love and honor our husband.
Is crazy.
Three God, Elihio, the Christ, the Messiah.
The
that
Messiah.
Has come to bring a message to his people. And who else would be great to come from where you come from?
Zoca crazy than a bed bug.
About who you are. If he didn't come from where you come from. He didn't come from the muck of the slums of Babylon, of the projects, of the ghetto.
Oh God.
Who is more than equipped to teach you? It's our husband, to teach and educate his people about poverty, about our mind.
God, this is crazy.
About our ignorance. So yes, our husband has come to help heal the minds of humanity. And to educate yourself, you must go to 3 God TV on YouTube to educate yourself furthermore. I love myself.
You don't love yourself.
Peace to the gods and goddesses.
You don't love yourself. There's the Messiah. The Messiah. I love myself. Let me tell you something. These girls crack me up. They're saying everything they ain't living by, honey. They need to go home and be mothers to their children, for these kids that they done abandoned end up like a nature boy, because they'll be blaming their mothers and fathers for not being there in their life, and then they act just like Nature Boy acts right now, because his mother and father wasn't there to take care of him and give him the love that he needed. This is how people turn out when you're not in your child's life, being present, letting them know that you love them and they're important. They grow up to be nature boys and they hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. That's what we need to understand. Hurt people, hurt people. And it's so sad that the time that these girls have had to sit with themselves and say, this ain't for me, they still haven't went home to their families or their children. They can walk out the door. Why are you still there? It don't make any sense. It's foolishness. I do not approve this message. I know that's right. But hey, if you like it, I love it. That's an old saying. Listen, I'm going to put a link in the chat. At 4 o'clock, I will be covering the Tijae Baker, the missing girl from Brooklyn, New York, who was believed to be they lowered her to a cult. And they didn't hear from her for a month later. She was at a nail salon, called her mother whispering, come get me. By the time she got to the nail salon, her daughter was gone. She hasn't heard from her since. So she knew after a month being missing that her child was still alive. We need to find out, is this child alive as we speak? Foul play has definitely took place. Y'all need to come through. It's about another cult because there's a lot of nature boys. And this dude that has recruiters, they're females, they're recruiting these young girls between the ages of 19 and 25 years old. And the dude behind, the muscle behind all of this, the leader of the cult, his name is 𝗪𝗫𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗙 And I believe he also lures these girls so that they can do, let's say, sexual favors for money, like a pimp. I'm going to try to keep it as a mature audience as I can, because you know how YouTube be tripping up here. But there's a lot of stuff going on.